You think you're everybody's goddamn boss, Amanda, but you're not.
You are not making my son drive you anywhere.
I'm not making your son do a damn thing.
Amy,
Get the out of my face, Amanda.
get your hands off of me.
1,000-pound sisters were left reeling after Season 7, Episode 8 aired, accompanied by viral headlines claiming Amy Slaton had been busted for drugs again, leaving her sister Amanda in tears and casting uncertainty over her children's fate. With millions of views, this episode has sparked a nationwide debate on reality TV ethics, family dynamics, and sensationalist media coverage. This article presents a comprehensive, in-depth look at the episode, separating fact from speculation, analyzing Amy's past legal challenges, social media reactions, family drama, and cultural implications. September 2024 arrest. Amy was arrested in Tennessee for possession of marijuana and allegedly hallucinogenic mushrooms. Her young children were reportedly in the vehicle at the time. Child endangerment allegations. Authorities temporarily placed her children with family while investigating the situation. Public scrutiny. The incident drew nationwide media attention, due in part to Amy's celebrity status. Family confrontations. Amy faces tough questions from family members about past decisions, including her legal troubles. Parenting struggles. Her capacity to care for her children safely is questioned, adding tension. Emotional intervention. Amanda is visibly emotional, attempting to intervene, expressing worry for Amy. Health and personal challenges. Amy continues to navigate weight loss, health concerns, and lifestyle adjustments. Reality television thrives on stories that are raw, emotional, and relatable. Few series in recent years have captured the attention of viewers like 1,000-Pound Sisters, a show chronicling the lives of sisters Amy Slaton and Tammy Slaton. With their combined weight exceeding 1,000 pounds, the sisters' journey transcends mere physical transformation. It's a story about family, mental health, resilience, and the search for identity. Premiering on TLC, the show initially drew attention due to its shocking premise, but its continued popularity stems from the deeply human narrative woven around Amy and Tammy's struggles and triumphs. Fans have followed them through weight loss surgeries, hospitalizations, personal crises, and emotional breakthroughs. Tammy grew up in a small town in Kentucky, facing challenges that would influence her adult life. From a young age, she struggled with weight and emotional trauma. Her challenges included isolation, mobility issues, and difficulties forming lasting friendships. These experiences shaped her personality, often leading to emotional outbursts and reliance on her family for support. Amy Slaton. As the older sister, Amy took on a caretaker role early in life. She was naturally responsible and protective, often putting her sister's needs above her own. Amy's resilience and determination became defining traits, though they were frequently tested by family crises and public scrutiny. The 39-year-old appeared on Tuesday's episode of the Creative Chaos podcast, where she revealed that she'd recently undergone dental work to address long-standing issues with her teeth, which trolls had repeatedly mocked her for online. "Show me them chompers, girl," joked host Hunter Azell as Tammy turned toward the camera and beamed, revealing her new teeth. Slaton explained that the work was the result of getting a dental bridge, which is a procedure that involves placing artificial teeth anchored between two natural ones. 1,000-Pound Sisters star Tammy Slaton admits she has brushed off online criticism from her haters. Copyright Reach Publishing Services Limited. Despite the complications, Tammy appeared in high spirits, and Azell was quick to praise her on her appearance. "You've got new teeth," he said, adding that it got the people off your back. "Some of them," Tammy replied. "They're always gonna be there." The podcast host then encouraged, "If you ain't got people who constantly got something to say about you, you ain't doing good in life." Slaton replied, "Haters make me famous." Tammy admitted she had to calm herself down before replying, saying, "I really wanted to tell you if you had a true problem with my teeth, then pay for them yourself. But I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be rude," adding, "It doesn't matter if I'm missing." She finished with a defiant message, "I'm not gonna let you or anyone else ruin my day." Tammy's dental update comes on the heels of a stunning physical transformation. After reaching over 700 pounds, she lost around 200 pounds on her own before qualifying for bariatric surgery, which helped her drop another 300. Despite the complications, Tammy appeared in high spirits, and Azelle was quick to praise her on her appearance. "You've got new teeth," he said, adding that it got the people off your back. "Some of them," Tammy replied. "They're always gonna be there." The podcast host then encouraged, "If you ain't got people who constantly got something to say about you, you ain't doing good in life." Slaton replied, "Haters make me famous." The star shared some straightforward advice on staying healthy, saying, "My best advice is to make sure you got your protein in and make sure you're exercising. Make sure you're doing what the doctors tell you. I gave up every bad thing, but not I indulge in gummy bears here and there," Amy wrote, offering a candid glimpse into her wellness routine. However, not everyone was convinced with her words. One person said, "I love Amy, but ain't no way people are asking her for health and fitness advice." Another penned, "No way we are taking any advice from Amy. Is your house clean? Can you handle those unruly boys? Answer that." But plenty of fans showed their support, flooding the comments. "I love you, Amy. Team Amy," one wrote. A second person added, "I love listening to you and your sister." A third commented, "I enjoy watching you and your family. All the best to you and your hubby and the kids. Hope you all come back to TV." Earlier this month, Amy spoke candidly about the struggles she has faced since undergoing gastric bypass surgery in 2019. "Lately, I've been doing so good on my weight loss," Amy admitted on her show, "and now that I'm skinnier, it's starting to bother me even more." During a bungee fitness class, she discovered that the harness kept getting caught in the excess skin between her legs. "These harnesses were not meant for people with excess skin, I'll tell you that," Amy explained. "My fat roll would go in between the strap and my leg." Meanwhile, many people have speculated that the star may have undergone another surgery to correct her lazy eye. Fans have noticed a visible change in her eyes recently, which she hasn't publicly addressed in detail herself. Amy previously revealed she has struggled with an eye condition caused by toxoplasmosis. On Reddit, a fan speculated, "I saw the most recent video on her Instagram, and I think her surgery results are really amazing. In some ways, it looks like she's a whole new person. I really hope the confidence boost helps her out since she mentioned it being a major insecurity." Another wrote, "It makes me really happy when they can get things done like that." Same with sports journalist Brian Scott Levorn. The couple met in 2024, got engaged after about 5 months, and tied the knot on Halloween last year at the Talbot Tavern in Bardstown. In tonight's 1,000-pound Sisters, Amy and Tammy haven't talked. They tried to talk when Tammy stormed out. It was in typical Tammy fashion. She didn't want to apologize because she would have if she wanted to. She chose to play the victim in the hope that Amy will cool off, and that wasn't happening this time. It was glued to the ceiling. Amy made a joke about it, better be Gorilla Glue. She did not like the class. She fell once and it was enough for her. Amy gave up on it for losing weight. It was just too complicated for her. Her wanting distance from Tammy wasn't so bad either because Tammy's emotions were all over the place. Tammy went to a vitamin store with Amanda. Amanda was recently diagnosed with POTS. She described it as an autoimmune disease, and it was taking out all of her energy. There was no cure for it. There was merely treatments until it goes into remission. Amanda was essentially told she had to ride it out, and so she wanted to be as healthy as possible in every form. She took Tammy with her because she wanted to know what happened between her and Amy. The first words out of Tammy's mouth was Pittsburgh. Tammy still hasn't forgotten or forgiven what happened in Pittsburgh. She said Amy abandoned her when she needed her the most. One of the reasons Tammy was so upset with her sister was because Amy blew everything out of proportion with one fart, and then she claimed to have PTSD from what happened. It irritated Tammy to no end. Tammy's emotions were all over the place because she began to cry about Pittsburgh until Amanda tried to play peacemaker. That was when Tammy got upset with her and she claimed she was getting overwhelmed. Both Tammy and Amy need therapy. They have such baggage they've been carrying around since childhood that they needed therapy to release the anger, the sadness, the feelings of being a burden. They both have it, and so talking it out with a professional would help. Billy was a great advisor. He helped Amy seize dynamics she never truly acknowledged before. She practically raised Tammy. Their mother wasn't really in the picture, so it had been up to Amy to take care of her sister, and she became a mother figure to her. It hadn't been fair to Amy. There's probably a part of her that wants to lash out at Tammy because of it. Only she needed to remember that Tammy was also used to that dynamic. She knew the one person in her life that could depend on was Amy, and then Amy took that love away. Billy pointed out how much both of them are hurting. He also talked to Brian. He saw good things from Brian. He agreed to officiate their wedding because he knew how much Brian loves Amy and wants to keep her safe. Billy tried to do something about Tammy. Andrea tried to do something about Tammy. Tammy was just going through things. Andrea spoke with Chris. Chris has heard that Tammy took issue with Brittany, and he warned everybody that she better not come for his wife or else. The other thing he took issue with was the fact that Tammy didn't want them to meet Andrea. Tammy has been telling everyone that Andrea was shy. It turns out Andrea couldn't wait to meet them. Andrea didn't have family. She always wanted siblings, so she thought it was cool that Tammy had so many of them. Andrea knew there was a shift after Pittsburgh. Something went wrong with Tammy's emotions. Chris thought she needed therapy, and he discussed it with Andrea. Andrea was hoping to try and make her happy, though that wasn't a burden she could take on by herself. Nor should she be responsible for regulating Tammy. Tammy has to do the work. She began feeling overwhelmed again when she talking to Billy. He was suggesting something for her to wear to Amy's wedding. And Tammy snapped. Tammy was losing it while Amy was considering an artistic career. She fell into art after her divorce. She now uses it as an outlet whenever she's struggling, and technically art was considered a therapy. Maybe it could help her long-term. Fans of 1,000 Pounds Sisters are getting a more vulnerable look at Amanda Halterman this season. In Season 8, Episode 5, Halterman, 45 opens up about a health struggle that took months to identify, sharing both her frustration and relief at finally getting answers. Her candid conversation sheds light on a condition many viewers may not be familiar with and explains the lifestyle changes she's now navigating as part of her ongoing health journey. Halterman and Tammy Slaton visit a nutrition store in idle hands are a devil's BH. It's there she reveals her health diagnosis to the clerk. Dizziness, fainting, anxiety, chest pain, headaches, and bloating are a few of the other symptoms people with POTS might experience, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Halterman was outspoken on social media about experiencing many of these symptoms before being diagnosed with POTS. Combs shared this selfie in honor of Tammy's birthday in July 2024, writing on Instagram, "Girl, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. I want to thank you for being my little sister, and I hope you have a great day. All aboard the snuggle train with Amy and her kids." Gage wanted to hold Glenn, she wrote on Instagram 2022. "My heart full tonight." During an upcoming episode of 1,000 Pounds Sisters, the reality star hoped to get in shape for her October wedding to Brian Levorn with a trip to a bungee fitness class. However, after a few setbacks, Amy shared the difficulties she's faced since undergoing gastric bypass surgery in 2019 and losing 200 pounds. "Lately I've been doing so good on my weight loss," Amy admitted on the February 3rd episode, according to People, "and now that I'm skinnier, it's starting to bother me even more." During the bungee class, the 38-year-old found that the bungee kept getting caught in the excess skin between her legs. "These harnesses were not meant for people with excess skin, I'll tell you that," Amy explained. "My fat roll would go in between the strap and my leg." Luckily, none of the problems stopped Amy from having the best day of her life as she and Brian tied the knot in Kentucky on Halloween 2025, 5 months after they. Love is in the air for Tammy Slaton of 1,000 Pounds Sisters fame. The reality TV star revealed earlier this month that not only has she moved in with her partner, Andrea Dalton, the two are now engaged. The reality TV series started in 2020 and is already on Season 8, which debuted earlier this month on TLC. Tammy, who came out as pansexual in an earlier series, and her sister, Amy, are the focus of the show, which follows the Kentucky-Texas-based sisters' journeys with weight loss. Audiences were first introduced to Andrea Dalton in Season 7 last year. Here's what we know about Dalton. In Season 7, Dalton said that she and Slaton met on a dating app. "I had just got on there," Dalton said. Yes, the two are engaged. This was revealed to fans by Slaton during an episode of the Creative Chaos podcast, which debuted 7 months ago. Wearing a necklace that says Andrea, as well as an engagement ring, Slaton said when they weren't filming, "Me and my fiance, we just kind of chill at home." Slaton also said, "We go to Walmart and just walk around, or Roses, somewhere like that, not to buy, just to walk around, get some exercise, something to do. Slaton also confirmed she and Dalton had been together almost 3 years. In the Season 8 premiere, Dalton asked Slaton to move in with her during a picnic and after playing mini-golf. The Sun has reported that Dalton was arrested in October 2021. She was reportedly charged with careless driving, possession of marijuana, no operator license, disregarding a traffic control device, careless driving, and failure to produce an insurance card. Dalton was arrested less than a year later after missing a court date in connection with the above charge. Amy experiences dumping syndrome during her wedding cake tasting but quickly recovers. Tammy and Amy have a tense confrontation about their strained relationship. Amy declares, "The Slaton sisters are dead," furthering the major rift between them. This week's episode of 1,000 Sisters packed in equal parts chaos and emotional fallout, delivering 2 moments fans won't stop talking about. From a cake tasting that took an unexpected medical turn to a brutally honest declaration about the future of the Slaton sisters' relationship, the episode made it clear that both Amy Slaton and Tammy Slaton are navigating major turning points. Amy, 38, and her now husband Brian Levorn test cakes for their wedding, and they bring most of the family with them. But during the tasting, Amy starts to feel unwell. At one point, she fans herself and grabs her chest at one point, prompting Chris Combs to ask, "Are you alright?" Presuming Amy's blood sugar was going crazy, Chris came to the conclusion Amy was experiencing dumping syndrome. "It happens when you eat too many bites and your stomach can't hold it," Amy tells producers. "It goes off into your small intestine before it should. I'm feeling like something's about to come up the pipes that ain't supposed to come up." Dumping syndrome is a common side effect of gastric bypass surgery and other weight loss surgeries that change how the stomach processes food. After surgery, the stomach is much smaller and empties food into the small intestine faster than it used to. When someone eats too much or eats foods high in sugar or fat, food can dump into the small intestine too quickly, triggering uncomfortable symptoms. Those symptoms can include nausea, dizziness, sweating, rapid heartbeat, abdominal cramps, bloating, and a sudden feeling of weakness or illness, like what Amy was experiencing during the cake tasting. In the end, Amy burped and everything was fine. She was able to complete the cake testing without getting sick, but it was looking dicey there for a minute. In this week's episode of 1,000 Sisters, Amy and Tammy, 39, are still trying to work through their issues with one another. Tammy's girlfriend Andrea makes an attempt to bring the once dynamic duo back together, but the meet quickly goes off the rails when Tammy feels disrespected by Amy. "I think I underestimated how hurt these two are," Andrea tells cameras. After refusing to come back inside the coffee shop and have a conversation with Amy, Tammy waits outside in the car and demands to stop being filmed. Meanwhile, back inside, Amy storms off too. "I'm no longer Tammy's but monkey," Amy tells producers in a separate interview. "I'm not allowing her to use me as a punching bag anymore." Her conversation with Andrea concludes much more harshly. "Struggled with feeling unsupported and misunderstood at multiple turns. Though her wedding planning was filled with anticipation, moments on camera showed her significant emotional strain, especially amid family dynamics where she perceived distance and judgment." Season 8 also focuses heavily on Tammy's life post-weight loss and skin removal surgery. Tammy has lost an astonishing amount of weight, over 560 pounds overall, and appears to be entering a new chapter of self-discovery, independence, and personal growth. In a preview scene, Tammy excitedly announces that she's moving in with her girlfriend, Andrea Dalton, marking a significant emotional step and a return to some level of stability and routine. But as Tammy elevates her life, from a volunteer position at an animal shelter to a serious romantic commitment, the emotional distance between her and Amy grows. Tammy herself acknowledges this shift, admitting in Season 8 promotional footage, "It feels like we're drifting apart. She used to be my best friend." In one episode, when Amy declines Tammy's invite to join her at an animal shelter outing, triggering confusion and disappointment, tensions escalate. Tammy calls Amy a deadbeat mom, and Amy responds emotionally, with tears and frustration on camera. This exchange marked one of the most direct confrontations between the sisters in years, a turning point that seemed to crystallize their widening emotional distance. Critics and viewers alike have described this moment as one of the most heartbreaking breaks in the Slaton dynamic yet, reflecting raw feelings, accumulated resentment, and unmet expectations. While 1000 Sisters has always drawn attention for its unflinching portrayal of health struggles, Season 8's emphasis on relational fractures has drawn significant commentary from both media and fans. Some viewers have praised the show for spotlighting real emotional complexity, particularly as both women navigate life transitions that strain family bonds. Others have questioned what it means to observe such intimate turmoil on television, noting that the public gaze may amplify private pain. Still, the drama has undeniably boosted engagement and conversation around the series, much like it has in earlier seasons. At its core, 1000 Sisters has always been more than a show about weight loss. It has been a layered narrative about two sisters from rural Kentucky facing monumental health and personal challenges, on camera, in real time, and under intense public scrutiny. Amy's journey has included highs, like her engagement and moments of personal reflection, and lows, including her highly publicized struggles with law enforcement and personal stressors, such as her arrest related to drug possession in 2024, which she has since acknowledged as a turning point in understanding her own behavior and growth. Meanwhile, Tammy's leap into independence has been dramatic and inspiring, marked by massive weight loss and a degree of autonomy she never experienced earlier. Yet, even these positive changes have intersected with painful evolution in familial relationships. Season 8's portrayal of conflict between Tammy and Amy raises broader questions about the direction of the show itself. Can 1000 Sisters continue to center on the Slatton identity if its core relationship may be fracturing? Will audiences see reconciliation, or has time and growth simply altered what the sisters mean to each other? 1000 Sisters Season 8 Episode 3, titled Tincher Tantrums, dropped emotional bombshells. As Amy reveals wedding plans and announces her maid of honor, the feud turns nasty over messages in the latest episode. A celebration quickly spirals into an emotional mess. Keep reading for all the spoilers ahead. A note to everyone reading, this is a hot take. The reason why 1000 Sisters stars Amy and Tammy are feuding is that, for the first time in their lives, their weight isn't the common factor between them. Before, the sisters were obese and kept themselves confined to the four walls. They were limited in more ways than one. So, the sisters were more complicit in each other's inadequacies than before. They overlooked each other's flaws when they were obese. Now, after the surgery, they can move freely. Neither Amy nor Tammy feels the need to accommodate each other's flaws. This is why Tammy is unforgiving of Amy's emotional tears. Amy is less forgiving of Tammy's sharp words. Moreover, now that they have unrestricted movement, their confidence is higher than ever. So they do not feel the urgency to mend bonds, as they know they can find companionship elsewhere. Only time will tell if that's really the case. What starts as a laid-back backyard barbecue quickly turns messy in Season 8, Episode 3 of 1000 Sisters. Chris hosts the barbecue to celebrate Brittany's weight loss journey. However, the good vibes don't last long. Amy reveals news about her wedding, along with a bombshell that makes Tammy rethink her plan to reconcile with Amy. The barbecue quickly turns into a tense and emotional mess. Mama. This episode also explains why Amanda has barely been around. Chris tells the producers she's been going to doctor's appointments. They think it could be bariatric issues or lingering COVID effects. Her blood pressure is the biggest concern. Amanda still comes to the barbecue, but states she will leave if things get stressful. Fans are aware of Amanda's health conditions from her social media posts. On this week's episode of TLC's 1000 Sisters, the ongoing feud between Tammy and Amy Slaton reaches a new level of toxicity when the sisters partake in a verbal sparring match within their family group chat, complete with profanity, personal digs, and a level of pettiness we didn't even know existed. In a clip from Tuesday's episode posted online by TLC, Amy and Tammy's siblings Chris Combs and Misty Slaton unpack the unhinged confrontation that went down via text, with Chris revealing that the sister squabble started at around 5 a.m. that day. Man, what the hell happened this morning in the group chat? Chris asks Misty, WH. O admits to him that she had to read the text exchange a few times to understand what went down between Amy and Tammy. Chris goes on to explain to viewers that Tammy and Amy got into over text message after Amy backed out of going to volunteer at the animal shelter with Tammy, citing PTSD over the damn camel bite, which in turn caused Tammy to lose her S***T. For those of you who may have forgotten, assuming that's even a possibility, Amy was arrested back in September 2024 for drug possession and child endangerment after getting bit by a camel at a Tennessee safari park. Amy's now husband, Brian Levorn, was with her at the time of the incident, and the two received his and hers handcuffs before being hauled off to jail together. As the Ashley previously reported, Amy and Brian tied the knot on Halloween, where Amy's good friend Lily Davis was chosen to stand beside her as the maid of honor instead of Tammy, who attended the nuptials as a guest. Amy explained on a recent episode of 1,000 Pounds Sisters that she opted not to include Tammy in her bridal party because Tammy doesn't allow her to express her opinions in the way that Lily does. "I'm sure Tammy's gonna be pissed that she's not my maid of honor, but I don't give a," Amy said. "At the end of the day, this is my wedding. Why's it gotta be Tammy, Tammy, Tammy? This ain't about Tammy." A new season of 1,000 Pounds Sisters is approaching for fans who are waiting for another round of Tammy and Amy on screen. The sisters carved out their own success 5 years ago with TLC. They sought skilled doctors to determine the best approach to weight loss. While Tammy progressed exceptionally, Amy's progress remained stagnant for an extended period. But Amy is back on her fitness track. She shared her portion-controlled, healthy meals. She and Tammy underwent bariatric surgery with Dr. Smith. It's only Tammy in the race who could successfully made to skin removal surgery. Amy lived in depression resulting from postpartum, making her handle 2 little ones all by herself until Brian entered the scene. This upcoming season features several new storylines. Last October, a Reddit user came forward to drop the bombshell news of 1,000 Pounds Sisters Season 8 cast spotted in New Orleans. From Amy to Misty, except for Tammy, everyone headed to a riverboat ride to shoot for new episodes. The person shared pictures of the original cast members. They got to click a photo with Misty and Chris that made other fans' hearts full. It happened on September 4th, 2024. One of the photos showed Amy and Brian speaking with an unknown man on the cruise. At that time, TLC remained silent on the series renewal until December. Therefore, it's understandable that a part of the show was filmed in New Orleans, Louisiana. The rest might have been covered in Kentucky and elsewhere. 1,000 Pounds Sisters Season 8 is ready to serve viewers on TLC. The network disclosed the launch date in December with the trailer. They are set to premiere it this week, on Tuesday, January 6, 2026, at September 8th. They recently reminded their Instagram followers with a post featuring a schedule of shows running the week of January 4th to 7th. This new season will be nothing short of a dramatic, explosive story about Tammy and Amy. Their sisterly bond was wreaked havoc by her ego. They stopped talking after Tammy called her little sister a deadbeat mom of her 2 young boys. Her parenting skills got bashed, and Tammy refrained from making up. Amy also snapped at Misty and Chris when they tried to ask her for an amendment with Tammy. The elder siblings discussed how problematic things have become lately for them to navigate. Regardless, Tammy found happiness in her love life with Andrea, while Amy planned her spooky wedding with Brian without her family's permission. Fans can't wait to tune in to TLC to catch the latest tension in the Slaton family. Tammy and Amy are favorites of most, but this time, they might dispel them with their brawl. But Tammy's weight loss, along with Andrea and Amy's relationship, would still draw significant views. Stay tuned to. On January 6, 2026, Amy, Tammy, and the cast of 1,000 Pounds Sisters return with an all-new Season 8 on TLC, and it promises tons of drama and family conflicts as the 2 sisters at the helm of the series go head-to-head amidst a rough patch in their relationship. According to the show's official logline, Amy is deep in wedding planning mode as she prepares to marry Brian in a Halloween celebration that promises to be anything but ordinary. From haunting details to a lively bachelorette bash in New Orleans, Amy is pulling out all the spooky stops to make her big day unforgettable. Meanwhile, Tammy is embracing a life-altering new chapter of her own. Following her transformative skin removal surgery, she's officially adulting, taking on a volunteer position at an animal shelter, and more responsibilities than ever at nearly 40. She's also planning to move in with her girlfriend, Andrea, and their relationship takes center stage as Tammy steps into greater independence and new opportunities. In spite of these changes, the sisters find themselves at odds with one another, with the show's new trailer below highlighting the conflict between the two of them. During a conversation between Tammy and their brother Chris, The rift between the two sisters is highlighted when he asks if she and Amy have stopped fighting yet. "If Amy keeps her mouth shut, then so would I," she responds. Later in the trailer, Amy is seen saying she can't handle her toxic "I no more," referring to Tammy. While we anxiously anticipate what's to come in the next season, meet the familiar faces of the 2026 1,000 Pounds Sisters cast we can expect to see when the series premieres on January 6th. Tammy embarked on a weight loss journey at the start of the show, and the reality star has made a major transformation over the years. Over the course of the 7 seasons, Tammy's health has had many ups and downs, including a few scares, but since we first met her on the show, she has shed over 500 pounds. Tammy's sister Amy Slaton's journey began as she embarked on a weight loss journey to qualify for bariatric surgery. Over the course of the show, fans watched as her personal life evolved, which included a marriage to Michael Halterman, their split, and in this upcoming season, her union with her new husband, Brian Levorn. Amy has also welcomed 2 children over the course of the series. Tammy Slaton's TV inception may have been driven by her extreme weight, but the TLC star is completely unrecognizable since dropping 500 pounds. At the start of 1,000 Pounds Sisters Season 1, Slaton weighed over 600 pounds. At her heaviest weight, the number on the scale was over 700. But in a confessional from the show, posted on Instagram in April 2025, Slaton revealed that she was down to 238 pounds, and it's eye-opening seeing her physical transformation in side-by-side photo. Amy and Tammy Slaton drifted apart in the new season of 1,000 Pounds Sisters. The official trailer from TLC teased their strained bond. The sisters documented the aftermath of their massive blow-up. Tammy has begun to embrace her new self after getting skin removal surgery earlier this year. She already showed off the results last season. Tammy left fans and her family speechless with her transformation. She publicly attended several meet and greets. Amy, on the other hand, got bashed for her love for Brian. Her relationship and wedding plans in a haunted house received backlash. She is now, luckily, married for the 2nd time and seems to be having her happiest ever after. Why did the sisters start beefing? Probably, Tammy attended Amy and Brian's wedding amidst their ugly brawl. Some close sources confirmed that she didn't attend the after-party at the Talbot Tavern restaurant. It is a haunted place where the couple got married. TLC released the wedding pictures on their official Instagram page ahead of 1,000 Pounds Sisters' new season announcement. One of the photos featured Tammy next to her younger sister, the bride in a sleeveless white lace gown. Amy and Brian tied the knot this Halloween despite her family's reservations about their choosing a haunted venue. The wedding was also notable because she didn't make Tammy her maid of honor. She approached one of her female best friends with a proposal to be her right hand. Many fans came together to discuss the matter. It seemed like the sisters were at odds at that time and might be continuing. Upon the trailer of 1,000 Pounds Sisters Season 8 coming out to the public, regular viewers of the show spotted Tammy and Amy butting their heads. This season's focus is on them because the problems from the previous season have heated up. Tammy appeared very upset and irritated with Amy. The former admitted they have drifted apart. Amy herself said that Queen Tammy, like other siblings, didn't want to do anything about her marriage. It was clear that the older sister wasn't interested in being present at the younger one's big day. She hated her idea of a haunted place from day one, so she didn't support her. The tension between them has reached a higher level for the first time. Their brother, Chris, shared his concerns and revealed that the two have been in a state of friction for the last 2 months. Also, he noted that their family's chat group has been explosive due to the sisters' constant bickering. In the trailer, he asked Tammy whether she and Amy had made up. But Tammy quickly guarded up, saying, in Season 8, Amy is also preparing to walk down the aisle with her fiance, Brian Levorn. In the new trailer, Amy, who tied the knot with Brian in November, confirms that she and Brian are still planning to make their big day as spooky as. Dismay of her family. The wedding is in 6 months, Amy says. It's really important for the venue to be haunted because that's a symbol of our love. My family, they don't want nothing to do with it. And neither does Queen Tammy. While Amy isn't letting the opinion of her family prevent her from planning the wedding of her dreams, it's revealed that the Slaton sister feud is still going strong 2 months after the dynamic duo's big blow-up. Tammy claims that she and Amy